Hi, this is Trish Kendall with Choose and Become. Yesterday was Sam's 8th grade graduation, and afterwards, one of the moms and dads, a part of his friend group, put together a lunch for the boys, the kids to celebrate, and then the parents to celebrate. And as we were there, it was a long table with parents. I was sitting next to the grandma of Sam's two friends. They're twins. And so the mom is my friend, and she put this all together, and her younger sister, who's 8 years younger than her, was there as well. They're really close. And then this was their mom, and she was 82, and I was sitting next to her, big long table. I'm sitting next to, we'll say, the grandma. And I was super interested in just learning about her and learning about her two daughters that are, so close, because of course I think about me and my sister. And so interesting, the conversation when we were talking, I was asking her, just whatever. I was just engaging in curious conversation. And she said that she never wanted to get married and she didn't want to have kids. And, she was like, now this was back in the 60s. And that's when the girls got married and had kids and cooked meals. And I was like, oh my gosh. So now I'm leaning in, so curious, and, some for way different reasons, but like similarities to that. I'm not going to get married and have kids. I was like, well then, why did you end up getting married? Like, tell me. She said, oh, well, we'd been together for 7 years and I loved him and he wanted to marry. And so I said, yes, okay, this is what we should do. And so they got married. And then I said, okay, now you have 3 children, because she has an older son, and then my friend, and then my friend's sister, who's 8 years difference. And I was like, okay, so then now tell me a little bit about deciding to become a mom. And she's like, well, I never really said I'm going to become a mom. Just a year after we got married, it happened. So we were like having this conversation, and then she made a statement. She said, she was saying how she just never felt that motherly, like that natural motherly instinct and that care to take care of a baby or a child. And she exudes love for her children and her grandchildren. So let's be clear. Like when she was saying that, I was like, wow, I would have never even put that together. And she said that it wasn't until her older daughter, so my friend, it wasn't until the grandma started to experience her older daughter with her youngest daughter. And so her older daughter was 8 years old, when the little one was born. And she said the closeness between the two sisters and the love that they had for one another, even when little baby was just like little baby, she said that's when I first experienced truly, really the love, the intense love and embracing the love of being a mom. And she said it's been, such a joy and has grown since then. And the two girls have been close forever. And here's, the youngest one who's here in Boston. She lives in New York with her husband, but they don't have kids. And she comes to all of the birthdays and the holidays. And then this was the 8th grade graduation for the twins. So these sisters are so close. And I just thought it was interesting, beautiful, and just something that we never know. Obviously, we never know anybody's story. And for me, when I engage in conversation to learn a little bit more about the person, about their background, about their perspective, I'm surprised, but 2, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is if I wouldn't have sat next to her and if I wouldn't have engaged in conversation with her, I would be missing this little beautiful nugget of this 82-year-old, woman who raised 3 children. She's a widow now. She's a grandma. And she didn't want to get married or be a mom. And it was finally through the experience of her older daughter with her younger daughter and seeing the love between them that she started to really embrace and feel boundless love. Thanks for being along this journey with me. Choose and become.